Good morning, viewers. It's Wednesday, the 29th of November, 2023, and it's 9 o'clock in Banjul, and I am Jul Denyai. This is the This Morning program coming to you live from our studios on Karaba Avenue, and this morning I am with Mr. Adedrami and Mr. Malika. Mr. Adedrami is our newspaper. Mr. Malika is our newspaper review guest. He has been really helping us a lot in terms of newspaper and other issues. And Mr. Adedrami, it's my co-host this morning. Good
we
morning,
are indeed
gentlemen.
your co-hosts. We start being called the usual suspects, I think.
Yes, regular
because they
now.
seem to be here all the time. So yeah, it's a pleasure as always to be here. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Ka.
Good morning. It's a pleasure, like I just said, to join you conversation. So I'm picking a lot from you guys, being the journalists you are.
We're picking a lot from you.
We are. Like I said, Mr. Ka is very versatile. Like any area he touches, you say, no, he's an expert in this area.
He's widely read.
Yeah, he is indeed. So this morning, like we always do, we will look at the African proverb this morning. Like tomorrow emanates from Guinea. We will also look at the newspaper review with our newspaper review guest, Mr. Malika, and we will also go for a short commercial break. And when we return, we have by Lamin Dabo, Head of Finance, GTSC, and we will have Famara JT, IT Manager, GTSC, to talk to us about the GTSC electronic ticketing system. And from there, we will also look at the latest updates on the demolition exercise that has been going on for the past 3 weeks or 1 month or so. And we will be expecting Modu Musa Sisaho, the acting public relation officer of the Gambia Police Force, and we will also look at sports world with Momodo Gajaga. These and others coming ahead on the morning show. Don't go away, because it's really going to be very interesting. Like always, I have brains, Mr. Ka here, I have Mr. Drame here, who are experts literally in everything. So we will go straight to our African proverb this morning. Mr. Ade?
Let's dive into it. I think you said tomorrow's is also from Guinea. I think you meant yesterday's.
Yesterday's, yes.
So I thought you were telling them what's coming tomorrow. But today's one says, for news of the heart, ask the face. For news of the heart, ask
the face.
We have that in Gambia as well, but in Wolof.
Okay, and
they would say, Har kanam kasola. That is like the face is like a prison. Right. If it is locked, you would tell, you would know if you are invited or not. What the facial expression can tell you whether the person really want to engage you or not. Yes. That is the essence of it. That for news of the heart, ask the face. How you feel will show on your facial expression. Like Julde is very smiley today. You can tell that from the inside. She is having a very happy, jolly morning. Yes. And you can tell by the facial expression when you approach somebody and really the person is angry at you or is frustrated about something. The first thing telling is the facial expression.
It's true. It's often said that the face betrays your real emotions, because sometimes people try and put on a fake smile, and the person that you're fake smiling at can probably detect that it's not a genuine one.
Absolutely.
It's a smile.
It's yes, And so, I certainly agree with this, that, as it says, what you're feeling here can be manifested in your face. So, yes, it's a nice one.
You must be feeling really good in there this morning, Julie.
Yes.
Top of the world.
I am on top of the world. For me, like, every day, it's a new day. Every day. Like, I don't like carrying the problems of yesterday to, affect my today. Yeah. So that is the new, really, resolution that I've really, started.
2024?
Since 2023. Since 2023.
It's been ongoing.
Yeah, so that's it for me. It's true that for news of the heart, ask the face. The face is oftentimes the reflection of what is really happening inside your heart, but not always. Sometimes others can be psychologists and they can really fake it, and you think that they are really, everything is going on whilst inside, deep down, they're really going through a lot. That is why it's important every day you wake up to be really cautious of the things you say to people and do to people, because everybody is going through a lot in their lives, whether you know it or not. So it's important that, you know, let's just, you know, safeguard our sanity at all levels. Yeah. I mean, problems are bound to happen in this world. You know, we can't really escape from it. So it's important that you safeguard your sanity and then, you know, you move on. This is life. Yeah,
let me jump in there. We used to have a psychology teacher, and he used to tell us that emotions are innate. They are internal. Absolutely. Unless you express it outward, nobody can tell how you're feeling. But the face is one area that will always betray you. The facial, the muscles, no matter how you try to disguise. If you feel certain type of feelings, it always
has a
if
way
you're
of coming
sad,
out.
You can easily see somebody and say, why are you sad today? Because the expression is sadness. So the facial expression have different meaning at different times. Absolutely. Why are you happy? There is a reason why the person can say, why are you happy? Because the face is telling. Obviously, without the face, you cannot just see a person and say, if you see me from behind, you cannot tell if I'm happy or not. So it's the face that tells you, and the face is what? Is the eyes, the nose, the muscular expression there. Absolutely. Tells you if you're excited as well, ecstatic, euphoric. So all these things are things that are there on the face.
Absolutely. So the face has a special part.
Yeah, it does.
So with that, let's move on to the newspaper review. Mr. Ade, what are our newspapers?
I have 3 here. I have the Point newspaper. Start from top left. Child Fund supports government with over $100 million worth of medical supplies. And then there's one from our next door neighbor, Senegal. It says senior government officials are to declare their assets in Senegal. I thought that was already happening. But apparently at the moment it's only ministers who have to, but now senior government officials. And ECOWAS Convergence seeks to inaugurate 2 regional centers. That's here in the Gambia. And then back to the Gambia in the case of the police officers who were shot and killed. Witness's QCell number in alleged PIU shooter case was not registered. I think it means in her name. It says by her name. Okay. And this is her defense counsel. Okay. Not registered in her name. Okay. I presume it means. Witness faces tough cross-examination by counsel, and that's at the ongoing commission of inquiry, that particular one.
Okay. Yes, we will go for a short commercial break, Mr. Ade. When we return, we can analyze the newspapers in detail. Do stay tuned.
QCell moy suñu boss. QCell moy suñu boss. QCell moy suñu boss. Go, ebe da full network suda tili QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata QCell. Most reliable network dumala geta wati QCell. Wo quality man nyon soda jam pona manke QCell. Ani be wulo ni farole kono walante be bakono jala fayola network ko se taria QCell suñu boss. Ñu fi njeka indi 3G ñu delu taxi 4G plus, and now we bring you 5G. 5G. First and only 5G provider. Itella follow adi doron nesa keno. Gambia bela nyon tawo fele QCell. Ko fasunta buka busi QCell. Itella molti milka kukutol nati Gambia. QCell meta lori la kilianol yele imanyina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be keno ma. QCell sunyu boss. QCell sunyu boss. QCell sunyu boss. QCell sunyu boss. Connection be bambandi QCell sunyu boss. QCell most innovative QCell sunyu boss.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV This Morning program, and I am Julden Jai. Mr. Ade, I can see that we have some very interesting news headlines there.
We do indeed. One from Senegal particularly grabbed my attention, the one about senior government officials having to declare their assets. And just to be specific, this is not politicians. These are government officials. So there have been allegations of civil servants at the top.
Sorry, Senegal as well. I heard.
Senegal.
Yeah, I heard also that Karim, you know,
Karim Wade
is going to contest.
Yeah.
He said all along.
So
he said all along that.
But then officially now, I think it's been because people were speculating, will he? Won't he? Will he?
Yes.
So that is
now
an
it's
angle
official.
that we can explore to see as well.
Yeah, he's never hidden his desire to contest. He became quite a hated figure because for some reason his father gave him 5 ministries to control when his father was president, which is ridiculous. You're saying people are not competent to be ministers. How can you give one person 5 ministries in a country like Senegal?
Well, equally much loved in certain quarters.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, you always get that when people have been in the corridors of power. And Africa, we have this praise-singing mentality. You know, once you're at a certain level, people flock to you and so on. He has his supporters.
Well, he hardly speak, Ade. I never.
Well, no, I mean, if you recently, when there've been all this stuff about, you know, will there be coalitions between different parts? He's come out and said he's not into getting into coalition with anybody. And I think that's what prompted people to think that maybe he wants to run on his own terms. And people have been pushing him to do so, his supporters, and there are many. I'm not sure he's going to get a majority because, yes, he's loved in certain quarters, but he's equally hated in some.
Interesting times in Senegal, our neighbors. Keep an eye on them.
Yeah, and from the Standard newspaper, I have a big headline. It says, Barrow advised to avoid politicizing civil service. That's really the big headline takes. And then, of course, a big one, by law judgment, tomorrow, that's Thursday, the trial taking place in Germany. And we've been keeping an eye on that. And it says Africa's International Health Conference focuses on boosting vaccine manufacturing. So that's from the Standard, and I think I have one more, Foroya. Farmers in Yamina demand government to increase groundnut price, they always do, and also to rehabilitate rice fields. And Information Ministry's budget not reviewed. This is the Finance and Public Accounts Committee chairman saying so. We don't know why that wasn't so. And there's another one which I saw about information. Yes, why did the Ministry of Information not attend the committee session of the National Assembly to defend their budget? And I think that's where the other headline comes. So there are two related headlines. And a borehole driller admits receiving overpayments from Mansa Konko Area Council. I keep saying this, if you haven't been following the Commission of Inquiry, please do so, because even if you had no hair, you'd be hair-raising stuff that you hear about. Some of the stuff we've heard, Mr. Carr, have been quite shocking.
Indeed. And it's very interesting. I think this type of commission should be replicated in all institutions so that they can be aware as to, you know, where failures in terms of processes and procedures are. Because what I detect in this particular one is there are lots of lapses in terms of the way they do things. They don't follow due processes and law. Sometimes they might not even doing anything wrong, but because they're not doing the right thing in terms of processes and procedures, then it tends to look like, you know, you are engaged in something dubious. But that's the only thing you can conclude, where somebody is flouting, you know, the regulations, financial regulations, and systems of procurement and all these things. So it's good to...
Yeah, I mean, just to jump in there, I mean, what you've said is what was revealed in one of the recent ones, where they asked the chap, they said, but in the year, you've had over 100 instructions. The law says those should be written instructions, and now you're telling us you got them verbally. How would you be able to remember 100 plus? You can't. But if it's written down, then you've got no problem. But as you rightly said, they told him, they said, because you tell us, oh, they told me to do this, then we have to suspect something suspicious was going on. Yeah, so that's really, and that has been revealed dramatically, you know, day in, day out since these commissions started.
Yeah, I mean, they have a huge role to play in terms of national development, the grassroots level. Oftentimes, we point fingers at the central government to say that they're not doing this right, they're not doing this, they're not implementing that. But also, the local government level also owe the people a lot, because every year, at least 60% of the revenue should go back to the people. But is it going back? You know, with the commission, it's evident that now the monies are not going back to the people, but then they are, you know, going back to, you know, allegedly going back to the pockets of these officials.
One particular council that is being dealt with, so we must not.
No, initially when the commission started, they actually mentioned all these councils. I did several, two stories about. So Basse was mentioned, Kanifing was mentioned.
Yes, and just to be clear, I mean, all the ones that are being brought before the commission, there have already been preliminary investigations
about,
and what these people are now being brought to do in front of the commission is actually address those allegations directly. So the people who've been implicated, for want of a better word, are being brought to say, okay, it says here that you were the one who allowed this isn't happening. And
but
some of them
they looked at it generally, like all the councils generally. But now they have been specific, like calling on individuals to come and really testify. And
because so in each case they say to them, well, according to what you put in your sworn statement, your testimony sort of contradicts that. You know, you said something here, and now you're telling us something completely different. That's happened time after time.
And I like the lawyers there. They're very forensic in the way they go about it. You know,
they really get
on
stuck
top of their game.
They really are, and I think that's what people.
Interesting, like they said. Follow and see.
It's been good television. I mean, we have to watch it for professional reasons, but I think everybody should watch it because, as you rightly say, it's not just central government. Where services have been devolved locally, then people locally. I'd love to see people get more engaged. Because in a lot of instances, you voted certain people in to these posts, but a lot of the people who've been brought are people who've been appointed. So you've even seen where people did not have the right qualifications. Far from it. In fact, they were appointed above people who did have the qualifications. So things like that have been revealed by these commissions. They really have exposed huge gaps, and it will be interesting to see as it goes on. What else is revealed. But for now, it's been pretty shocking. I think. Yeah.
What else do we have?
What else do we have? We have President and farmers debate the price of groundnuts, which again is a kind of repeated
the government
headline.
Said they are going to buy it at 38,000.
But they want more. People want more. It can never be satisfied. If you give me 10, I want 20. So yeah. But I mean, I think if we go back to the, we've now reached the stage of sort of cross-examination in the. Trial.
Bylaw.
Okay.
Not bylaw. I beg you. The PRU, the shooting of the officers, and so that's another dramatic case, very unusual for the Gambia, one that we have to keep an eye on because all sorts of revelations are coming out, and again, so yeah, I mean, lots and lots of things, but I think we must mention that today is one of those UN days. On our news, we always try and commemorate all the UN days, and today is the World Day for Solidarity with the Palestinian people. It could not have come at a more apt moment, Mr. Carr, given what is happening in Israel-Gaza war.
The lull now, the ceasefire, has given them some breathing space for now. And you can see, the amount of damage and destruction to lives and property is very heartening. You can see Guterres of the UN, how he is capturing the sentiments of the people.
Yeah, he's actually being emotional about it. He's not being this kind of detached. He's you're right.
But what is being exposed is the Western world's seeing of things there, and the rest of the people of the world, how they are interpreting and seeing events as they unfold. Now the narrative that if you criticize Israel, you are anti-Semite, that is not holding any longer, because Israel is a government with policies and programs and structures, and like any other government, they ought to be held to account in terms of their actions. And now I think the killing has gone to an extent that is unbearable. Especially women and children, nothing can justify it any longer.
Absolutely.
Yes, they perpetuate this narrative that Israel has the right to defend itself. But it doesn't have the right to continue killing children and killing women just like that, without any accountability. I think the world must continue to push for an agenda of ceasefire. And then whatever they're going to deal with Hamas in terms of whatever allegation against them, let them. But the people of Palestine deserve to have a right to live and to exist in peace, and they should continue to push for the agenda of cohabitation, coexistence, and two-state policy should be something that should be really implemented.
And we're now at the very odd situation where 1,400 Israelis were killed on the 7th of October attack. And now, probably by today or tomorrow, we'll actually hit 14,000. So that would be 10 Palestinians for every one Israeli who was killed. It will literally be 10 to 1 in terms of the response, which is quite remarkable and quite shocking.
And this war, it's unique in the sense that, you know, it's the first time. I know I've not witnessed the World War.
You're too young.
First World War, Second World War. But this time around, this is unique in the sense that you see countries showing solidarity, really, you know, against the killings of innocent civilians, women and children in Palestine. Even countries that are pro Israel, you see them coming forward and really condemning what is really happening in Palestine and Gaza. You know,
I haven't seen much of that, I have to say. I mean, the Western world are almost complicit in that. They've not really come out in any strong way to not as governments. Almost every Western government has thrown its weight. France, Germany, all these people who feel guilty for what happened in the Holocaust essentially feel that Israel is above criticism. And no country can have that special place. No country. But Israel has that in the West.
But are they, with the exception of Ireland, Spain, Belgium, the government? In fact, Belgium, Spain, but they even went to the Gaza Strip, went to Egypt and make a statement there.
But what I'm saying is, those have, because they're Western countries, but they've never been what we would call strong supporters of Israel. None of those strong supporters of Israel are coming out and telling them to stop. None of them. You know, so
even ceasefire, they're struggling.
They can't even say the word ceasefire.
Which is unfortunate. I hope they listen to the cries and voices of the people around the world to really force for a ceasefire. There should be cessation, and unfortunately, they're saying once, you know, these 3 more days elapse, they will start.
They will resume
the bombing again.
But also, I mean, there was an article yesterday which listed a lot of journalists and actors and actresses who've now been sacked because they posted tweets saying ceasefire in Gaza. They didn't say, you know, they've been sacked, essentially, and it's becoming silly, you know, but that's the situation we are in the West. I mean, the BBC, they've been criticized because they've not called Hamas a terrorist organization and so on. But I heard one of their reporters this morning as I was coming to work, interestingly, saying after Hamas's murderous attack on the 7th of October, normally the BBC wouldn't use that kind of language, but the reporter did this morning. I don't know who he is, but I hope BBC will sanction him. But yeah, you know, they've been fairly sort of even-handed as they should be in their reporting. They've not been emotional like a lot of the Western media. Certainly all the newspapers in England, 99% of them have been pretty much supporting Israel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ka. Thank you very much for coming along and for reviewing the newspapers with us. We will go for a short commercial. When we return, the program continues.
Kiusel moy suñu boss go ebe da full network suta tili Kiusel ni lafta demla wati jamala mune diata Kiusel most reliable network dumala keta wati Kiusel wo quality man nyon soto jam pona manke Kiusel hani be wuloni farole kono walante be bakono jala fayola network ko se taria Kiusel suñu boss ñu fi njeka indi 3G ñu delu taxi 4G plus and now we bring you 5G 5G first and only 5G provider. Itella follow adi doron nesa keno. Gambia bela nyon tawo fele Kiusel. Ko fasunta buka busi Kiusel. Itella molti milka kukutol nati Gambia. Kiusel meta lori la kilianol yele imanyina amanda wala itella ka quality dila dadi ma itelle silo wala wodol mume be keno ma. Kiusel sunyu boss. Kiusel sunyu boss. Kiusel sunyu boss. Kiusel sunyu boss. Connection be bambandi Kiusel sunyu boss. Kiusel most innovative Kiusel sunyu boss.
future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fix Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is this morning program coming to you on our studios at Karaba Avenue, and we are moving on. I have Balamin Dabo, who is the head of finance, GTSC, and I have Famara JT, IT manager, GTSC. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
And we will be talking about the GTSC electronic ticketing system. Take us through that. If my memory serves me well, this started way back in 2017.
Shall we start with Famara, the IT guy?
IT guy. What does it really, entails? What is it really about? We know it's about electronics, but how does it really work?
Okay, to give you a brief overview, what I would like to say is that this is a new package that came along with the project that we had as a company from our parent company, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. With the inception of the new 70 buses that came along, the software package is part of those solutions that is implemented for the benefit of the Gambian population. So in essence, we've been using ticketing solutions, electronic ticketing solutions before, but this one is just like an upgraded version of that one, which come along with the whole package with the 70 buses.
Sure.
Yes.
And if we can come to finance, I guess this is this will help with revenue collection, doubtless to say. So what are the benefits exactly?
I think, of course, it is called the TAMU card.
Yeah.
The TAMU, it's giving us an advance revenue. It's just like you buy credit in advance before you use it. So that is exactly what it's actually giving us right now. It gives us the advance revenue, and it's also giving us that stable mindset rather than using the manual tickets whereby it has human interference, of course.
Sure.
It tries to reduce the aspect of human interference as much as it can, and then give us that advanced revenue that we're trying to look for. And then, of course, minimizes the risk of fraud, deception, or
exactly. I was going to come. Julia?
Yeah, so aside from increasing revenue mobilization for you people, what else does it really seeks to do? And is it nationwide, or is it just limited to the Greater Banjul area?
We are trying to go nationwide. Everything that because our buses run nationwide throughout the country, so in essence, the card will actually go through the whole region. We're not limited to any one party or any one area. So that is something that we want to do. It's to make travel easy for everybody else. Of course, we have seen our grandparents use WhatsApp. So if our grandparents can use WhatsApp, what is the whole point of them using the TAMU? It becomes a very, very easy software for them to use.
Sure.
And of course, we have a sample of the card here.
I was going to say.
It's called actually TAMU. Maybe you guys can view it.
Yeah.
Right? It's called TAMU, which is a Mandinka word for travel.
Travel.
Yes. So that, in essence, is what it is.
So I buy my credit, which is then onto here. Listen, if you live in Europe or wherever, we've been using this for the last 10, 15 years.
Exactly.
But it's new here.
Yeah.
And so I buy my credit, and essentially I just tap it,
and tap up.
Tap up. Yes. Yeah, and then it deducts as you go along until eventually you run out.
In fact,
and then you recharge.
Yeah,
as the Oyster card, I was going to say, which they have in the UK. So yeah, it's a really, really good. And as you rightly say, it simplifies it. It means people don't have to carry money around. They're not looking in your pocket, for change and all that kind of stuff. You just, you charge it, and yeah, you tap in, you tap out.
So what's the process of acquiring this card?
Right now, we're trying to do the pre-launch for us to know some of the challenges and, of course, advantages of it during this period. Especially the challenges. Of course, we know its advantages in the system, but the challenges is very, very important for us to know the challenges. And then, of course, on Thursday, a group of people will actually try its first process of understanding its challenges in the urban areas.
Sure.
Hopefully, by next week, we'll do a nationwide, whereby we'll actually check the system of whether we will see challenges. We know one impediment might be network.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say, because we have, is it 19% penetration?
We have one of them is network, but I will allow the IT to
the IT guy
because it stores data as well for IT before we can actually get it. So IT will actually talk on that.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, network could be a challenge, but in fact, this solution works offline and online. So it covers both. So in areas where like major cities around the country, mostly there are coverages available, but in certain remote areas wherein there is no network coverage, the system is able to work offline, store data whenever there is connectivity, and it will sync back online and load all the data that is required for continuation of the whole process to completion.
So if I get on the bus, that individual bus has a component which stores that data, and then when it gets back online, it then syncs back.
Yes.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be online all the time. Yeah. So
it's kind of like a double face. With or without.
Without,
you can
still
work on it.
But I'm yet to get really how people can get this and how much will it really cost them. Because this system, it's new. I mean, you need a lot of sensitization for the Jolas and the cereals to know how to operate this. No, the Floods are smart people. They are smart.
Eventually, whenever you roll a new innovation, as time goes on, people get used to it, and they know how, and they correct their errors and stuff like that, and it becomes part of normal to the society.
And I guess this program is one such thing. So really, as Julia rightly says, it's a very good question, because I think what we have to think is that, okay, are you going to be holding radio, TV programs to sensitize people in all the languages that we speak here in the Gambia? Because that's the only way that you're going to get everybody to know that there's this new thing is around. It's like when ATMs came around, everyone like, oh, how will people understand it? Now we just take them for granted. They're just there and they're everywhere, but it seemed, oh no, I must go into a bank and I must speak to somebody before I can get my money. You don't have to do that. You could spend a whole year and never set foot inside a bank.
In fact, the purpose of the technology is to promote cashless society, and then payment systems through electronic means. This card that you have, we have what we call a validator inside the box, and we have a payment system handheld device, which if you have this, you can just tap in, and it deducts your amount, and when you are going off the bus, you tap out, and then it just terminates the journey. So rather than carrying money in your pocket, it can get stolen. So it will be inconvenient if you detect that, in fact, the money in your wallet is not there. So you can use this as a backup and then travel very easily.
Okay. In terms of the money, does this really have validation? How long is it valid for? Is it 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, or it does not have that?
It is actually unlimited.
Once you've charged it.
Once you charge, you could use it as much as you can. What it does is, for us as a young company, we're just 10 years old this year. So for us, we're also trying to also be in tune with technology. So anytime we see a higher technology, then we will actually phase this out slowly and go in tune with the newer technology. Even that, we don't want people to come to our office every now and then to buy this card, for example. We're going to sensitize, definitely. We have already started. And our marketing team are doing a very wonderful job in sensitizing the public regarding it. And then, of course, when we get to that point whereby we want to change the technology as well, we'll do the same thing, sensitize the public. We have started it. We're also working on, for example, our Dakar service. You don't really need to come to our office to buy a ticket. You can go to any place and buy a ticket, and of course, these are things that we're trying to improve on, so that it can be cashless, it can be seamless, and it can be comfortable for every customer that we have.
And I think there's a question Julde asked, which I'm not sure has been answered yet. If I wanted to get one of these, will it cost me anything, or does it come that, when I buy it, there's $100 fees, and that's, I pay $100 fees and I get the card and there's $100 fees on it, or is there a cost to the card itself?
Yes, let me come in there. Basically, as an operational model in our company, GTSC, any new innovation or technology that you are rolling, sensitization happens. During the sensitization, we will give a limit, like a cap, wherein we can give it to our most loyal customers, wherein they will test with it and then see, so that they will appreciate it and then be able to motivate others to come in. That might not have any charge at all, because we will give it for free.
But everybody else.
Yes, but after the period, we will set as a company and see the investment that we did on the card to procure the card. It will be just like something lesser than that, and then we will set the price as that.
Okay. And you're itching to come in because the money aspect is crucial.
So finance is very important. But, our institution is a social responsible institution. We have to make sure it is affordable as much as it can for the average person. Because if you look at our bosses, the average people are the ones that enjoy our services. And if you look at our fares, they are below, or they're always below the market value. So
but they're also limited buses. Are you thinking of increasing?
Always.
Well, they've just done. We just did a story with several new buses.
Mr. Darame not to use his vehicle.
Well, this is
when he's coming to work, he can just hop inside the bus like every place else. We want to go through that point as well. And of course, we having the support of the government as well, of course, through the President of the Republic of Gambia. He's supporting us a lot for us to be very, very innovative and inventive in whatever we're doing. I think that is very, very important for a country to move forward, especially when it comes to transportation. So the government is supporting us very, very well. Our parent company, Social Security, under the leadership of Mr. Salum Malam, we have their support in trying to bring in more cutting-edge technology every now and then. I think that is one of the best things that we have. We have the support of the government.
We have less than 5 minutes to go, but before we go, we would like you to summarize this in local language, either Mandinka or Wolof, so that our viewers who could not understand English can know what we're talking about.
I think he can do Mandinka. I can do all of it.
Okay,
it's very, very difficult for me, but I'll allow him to go.
Okay, Mr. Yaite, you go on.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. Bari jiwela albalbe kontonla tolna kontonla. Tulkabona GTSC le nata jang nasilo mende wala mka itandi molla mel kaduna bosolla abi gambianol mel manka gambianti ko nga fenkutul le samane mel ka fay ko tamu card ñun tamu card le melan ko ni lafta istanna officer to nole ni fatanna officer be afole lafta tamu card use la so yal bi section be tan la jël o officer be tan la melan ko officer ñing be marla tamu do nela so ni foto officer to be card ñin tanale ya dila for free for now ni card ñin dila iba dilala ibe credit dilala pour ka jibe itamen ka travel to la motol la ye kad ni na nafaaje nyaadi la because wato li ka ko do ke jibo ko no le ya sunya ban ni karo bebul ko di table ila jibo ko na be jibo ko no si kado ni just no le dina bosol la kata fo basse kata fo baribu kata fo jara soma kata fo dawdar ndi Gambia because ndolla bundal be Gambia ma fon bella so nyimbe mbake kan pour mbake kan makoro pour ka aftandi na clientol ka aftandi la bundal mo wonni be banko da daranding ñing makoro ñi aftana na ka bon na parent company wala na company ba me ka fay ko social security housing finance corporation anin government masakunda la makoro me aftara GTSC ma so be la fila na customer momo ninka dun GTSC la kay tandi la ko ndol beji be dokole fo faw an be dokole ka kulta ka sunandi ka tamota ka sunandi so
kam taninte lafta tamala bi basse be nyin kato da mala yusla ngata jam fo basse.
Yes, you can do that.
So ise modo la card fana use no le bank for momo na la carte
momo na la carte le but ni mo lafta isi card apply mo dolier ite fon to yala for instance ninte lafta carte sabala nite do apply na fon ne do apply na muso and do apply na dingol you understand also pour ka ad ni tamolen fon ko nyabe abe bunda fon la le abe student malale abe dokulal malale abe organizational malale me ko lafta ka transport provide ila dokulale so na nitam company like QCell I'll invite you come to us. We work with you. We provide transport. Transport provide la staff will be through issuing this card. So if Gambia fanna ni alon na boso time down. You don't have amanjari kodi with this card and then at the end of the day, na company transport schemes with the employees. So it's about walk around la nyame for easy convenience. Yes.
Okay. So bosol fanan la time mo fanan kumaya tabakere and in strategic location ya fo janne komin ko albe bosol la falale ngalo ne ko kumaya tabakele because molo ebe diamu kan bakele nyimbosi ko la komin ko e kamol ma ko le komin so ne ya tamo ni na bari fanan imansia so wobe ke no la nyaden
bosol to la lafiko wala pour ka na customer be satisfied bari jama ibuka mo be satisfied at the same time but suto tili be mirror ke kam be bosol la fala nyame right now bo plans will be only ka bosol ta ka lafa isaje asimul sino nyame so but suto tili na mirror men wala kan na customer ke satisfied and ka bosol lafa amma me ba ke nga bosol sol me ko kata in urban areas minivan solten so mbodol fan la falal inshallah tamila bake without telling you any specific time but mbodol fan la falal very shortly pour ka duladol mam damete no ke mamma
janning kata fanan yalong do kulal time mole bala andu ngalo ne traffico ka congest bakele so atoli specific time le soto bank because niaje coming do kula bala moto park la pour ay tay nying boso join because tumando alata kole ko natata wala na boso nyi join at a late la so ali specific time so tol meme ko komi ko nyi bolo boso be wutula nyi time la abe futala banjul nyi time la ali yo time fen ko so to komi yiro ka ke nyame
in fact mbo ke kan right now as I'm telling you kamen ko wala ning ngeta ta nge haya o te intol haya iba fala nyale ila dokulal ba wulla wati jumale and at which location so until ba make sure na moto batal lorin before that time abatal la mul batun kan na la mul na rek after ngi samba do kudla ani ka ji wata men fana ningo fana long until ba trial on ka trial by all means nga traje before that time bo so batal lorin fu mol be dum ni mol be dum nga difa time long then time wala be kata like
how about the public service
public service
will man apply
time sort because stops you count stops boso kalo damendo so all around the clock throughout the day ntolla muto ka tar silo kan dro e kamul sikar ke samba boss topol rek nialong rek e bel so lolo boso bina be samba but arrangements like with companies like ni la fa ngena mul samba e ba fa la nyene te lafta ila mul kata wadi mala ni ka close wara men ni ngolo rek we almost make sure that we on time and then mba sifa ke kan govien mba sifa ka kan dol fane so near private hire finance sort of like ilafta kata Senegal like you are a football team or ilafta ka ila mol samba on excursion like la staff so ni na company rek you time for ko lumeni la fata rek we are always there for you
okay no problem so finally Mr. Dabo, before we wrap up, what do you have to say?
I think you have seen that also. We are also having state-of-the-art bus shelters. These stuffs are they're of the highest quality that we are trying to produce. As Famara said, I know you were talking about looking at the bus times as well. And of course, eventually, as I said, these are things that we want to progressively do, like having time cards for those bus stops, basically, like a GPS, for you to know which time the bus is coming. These are things that we want to work around the clock and then fix those issues for the general public.
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I know it's unfortunate that none of you can speak fully, I assume, so that we can also, to my fuller viewers, we would love to summarize it for them, but I will have to send them an invoice. So musi be full be ko be mbiyan no record wadi o card GTSC ko o card be adino ko electronic joni kala jiɗɗo mbo hebde rek a yahat to office maɓɓe to ɓe mbanma register keɓamo. Joni jarani ko jadata he kalis sa yeehi he bosuji maɓɓe he rek o carte rek hollataɓe, sa holliɓe rek jarani ko gakkataɓe kalis. ɓe mbi fuɗɗorde nde ko free, kono so ɓe jeeyi ha yeeso ɓe mbaɗat feere ɓe mbaɗa hen charges, kono charges o ɓe mbi wona ko hewata. Joni o waktu ɗo dal ko heede Greater Banjul area, Kanifing en Banjul, Brikama, kono ɓe mbi as time goes on ɓe mbaɗat feere ɓe nawa ɗum ha Basse he Bansang en ni ɓe fof bosuji ɗi jahat toon fof. ɗum ɗo yimɓe ɓe fof na poti ɗum heɓde because na waɗi important torop. Joni keɓde kalis sometimes a waɗa stran jolaɓe ɓe séréer ɓe keɓata hay kalis ene ɓe jiiɗi yaade Basse. Joni kala jiɗɗo ɗum heɓde rek jarani ko mbaɗɗa waste time. Sa heeɓi o carte rek kala to jiɗɗa yaade he Gambia haɗa wawi ƴettude carte o jahatena yoɓata hay hunde initially. Joni miɗo wiya musidɓe fulɓe ɓe fof ɓe jaaha ɓe keɓa o carte pour yaha e argol waɗa easy he maɓɓe. So I will have to send my invoice to you guys. Thank you very much.
That's fine.
I think I tried. Thank you very much, Balamin Dabo, for coming, and Famara Jaite for coming on the program. And feel free to reach out to us on any updates about these issues, because I think it's very important for us to go digital. I mean, the world is digital.
They should have a show on QTV on a regular basis. To kind of, as this is rolled out, to kind of
you should
and in all our languages, as I said, so that people get to really buy into it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Viewers, we will go for a short commercial break. When we return, the program continues. To stay tuned.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Step into the Espas Motors showroom for your luxurious name brand vehicle. Located along the Bertil Harding Highway, Espas Motors is the Gambia's authorized dealer for Chery, Kia, Ford. And now we bring you the new Peugeot model 3008 SUV. 18-inch alloy wheels, 216 inches high ground clearance, keyless entry system, start and stop button, rear parking assistance system, reverse camera, adaptive cruise control with speed limit, LED daytime running lights, front and side airbags, 8-inch HD touchscreen. Not to forget our exquisite Peugeot Landtrek double cabin pickup with 2.1-liter diesel engine, 6-speed manual transmission 4x4, hill descent control, LED daytime running lights. Espas Motors, the authorized dealer for Peugeot. Visit us today or call us on 35-2222 or 353-4444.
Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your ad will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience.
Welcome back, and we are almost at the tail end of the program, and I have Modu Musa Sisha, the acting PRO of the Gambia Police Force, and Bakari Mane, National Roads Authority, to talk to us or give us an update on the, demolition exercise that is ongoing. It's been 3 weeks now, right? or a month? It's been a month now.
1 month.
It's been,
yeah, I was going to say 6
It's been,
weeks.
wow, how time flies.
Yeah.
So good morning, gentlemen.
Thank you. And thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Good morning, and thanks for having us here in the studio, QTV.
And gentlemen, as you know, this is something that everybody is talking about because at some point we all encounter this. So, Acting PRO, I wonder if we could start with you. Can you just give us an update on where we are?
Yeah, thank you very much. Like you mentioned, this has been ongoing for over 6 weeks now, and we started from Sting Corner to Brikama, then back from Brikama, Westfield to Sukuta, and today we are in Sukuta, and we hope to continue to the most demanded area, that is Sukuta Jabang Junction.
Yes.
We don't know whether today we'll be able to do that, but hopefully that's far. But Mane will come into detail as to the areas that needed to be covered. But as far as the security is concerned, and as far as the work is concerned, personally, I'm very happy with the way things are going and the feedback from the public, and it's been good that this is long overdue and the job that we are actually doing, because the concerns were whether we are actually going to pick and choose.
Right.
And I think it's evident that that has never been the case, because the media is all along with us everywhere we are to actually show what we are doing every step of the game. And this has been very, very productive, and we also want to take this opportunity also to thank the general public for their cooperation. I mean, we thought it's going to be difficult. I know there has been some challenges.
Thought it was going to be.
Yeah, there has been some challenges, but hopefully those are minor, very minor ones, and that the fact that Gambians have changed, and I always say that, and I say this, Gambians have changed. We have to agree that development will come with some sacrifice, and as such, and we will have to accept that changes. And for one reason or the other, when there is a change, usually it requires a lot of adjustments, and we expect that from not just only the public, but from all of us, all stakeholders, government and allies. And this is one activity that is going to really contribute towards the change of trajectory of this country in terms of development, because the nation, the people are ready for development.
Sure. Bakari Mane, if we can come to you. In fact, we saw you in some of the footage there. So you were out there whilst this was being done.
He's the most famous man right now.
But from the National Roads Authority side of things, what's been your perspective on, we've heard from Acting PRO, you know, what their perspective has been. What's it been from the authorities side?
Well, thank you once more. I will not be saying from the view of the National Roads Authority, but rather from the view of the Gambia government at large, because this is government-led task force, which includes all the stakeholders, government stakeholders, for that matter, and even some private institution like Transport Union, General Transport Union. Thank God we're here today, and we started this, like he said, we're in our 6 weeks now. We started on the 19th October. Now we're still moving. Today we're at Sukuta, like he said. From Sting Corner, we followed the main road that is from Sting Corner, Westfield will get into Serekunda, and Serekunda we went up to a place called Sanchaba Johnson. And Sanchaba Johnson we found back to Serekunda a few connections that led to and the other one to the clinic, Serekunda Hospital, the Sandika Road, and the last Kumbalo, which is called, what's the other name? Expire Johnson, you know, and the other one that goes through that Baobab and get to Bakau Garage over there. So these are the areas that we clean up at that end. Then we came back to Westfield and move all along to through Lamen to Brikama. And when we got to Brikama, of course, we know there are secondary routes in Brikama. So we went inside to touch those secondary routes. And we did this. It is very important. Some people were calling when we were starting this. The information they got, or their own understanding that we are only following highways, or
Well, I'm glad you touched on that because you're reading my mind. Because I was going to say that when I discussed it with somebody and we said that we were having you guys on here today, he said, but I thought they were only doing the highways, the main highways. But yet, as you rightly said, some of the roads that lead off these highways have actually been targeted as well.
I must thank you through the PRO for organizing this. It is not only going to be an update, but also serving as sensitization of places that we yet to reach. It's important for people to know the scope of our operation. The way our task is to clean up the road corridor. And when we say our name already spelled out is Operation Clear Roads. So meaning all roads we mean. Pave on pave. That's why when we went to Joshua or Serekunda, you saw us leaving the path, entering roads that are weak in engineering, virgin roads. That means roads that are not built.
Yes, quite.
You know, because in as much as we don't get into those places, we will not be helping in easing the traffic. All these things is to cheer, promote, and maintain safety on our roads. Because if roads are not safe, of course, we keep losing lives and properties. And as a government, it's a primary responsibility to protect and preserve lives in this country. You know. So we today from Brikama, we went to Brikama. I must clear this place very well. We went to Brikama. We cleared from through Lamin to Brikama, the first intersection where the petrol station is. I don't want to mention because you said you will give me a bill, and I don't have money to pay the bill. But the entrance entering Brikama, you know, you have this White Johnson, the other one get to the South Bank Road to
I think most people know it.
And the other one to Brikama Town. So we went into Brikama Town, and when we got the first paved road we have is the garage road. You have the garage road because before this operation, you know, we've seen commercial vehicles having their own pocket garages on the road. So it takes you from that petrol station to even the Gunjur Johnson minimum an hour or so.
Because it's so congested.
You know,
that area.
Yes, so we have a car park in Brikama, and we are all proud to say, for now, Brikama is one of the only town in the Gambia that has a proper garage. So if we sit down and fold our hands together as a government, what happened in Serekunda will come, in fact, you know, is quarter or halfly into Brikama. The car park has already been changed. Instead of being a car park, now a market.
Quite, exactly.
So that's why the vehicles, commercial vehicles, were not going inside. Instead, they were using on our pavement as parking place.
It used to be hell,
you know,
to get
so
through that.
it was not. We cannot be providing or government building garages or road and later on be changed to another either marketplace or whatsoever. That is not going to be allowed, and because it is not in conformity with our laws, so we have to clear. We went into that road, we make sure, because what we found on there, you know, both sides, you know, you have the police fence and you have the football field, and both sides were the stalls.
I know.
You know, I mean, the pavement where people supposed to be walking, pedestrians, I mean, now they have to be forcefully be on the road, and the vehicle cannot even pass because the pavement for motorists has been changed to a pedestrian's way, which is wrong. The road was not built, or our road corridor. I mean, there's a communication. We have place where pedestrians are supposed to be using. Equally, we have this motorist way. And if we had to allow to, you know, and it's a problem when we got there. You know, that's why I said, let's stop the blame game. Let's park everything aside. We are all to be blamed. Because when we got on the ground, we are the one on the ground. What people were saying, why the noise came up, because we touch people living. And it's not the vulnerable vendors. No, for those ones who, of course, they are affected, vastly affected. But the people who cause it is that's ourselves. Because individual like Daram and me, the football field doesn't belong to me. It's for the public.
It's everybody.
Where do I have the authority to go and space somebody there and be collecting rent from the person?
True.
It is a road corridor. It belongs to everybody. So no individual has a right to collect money from these poor vendors, and you claim the space is yours. So it's a lot of things that led to that. So we cleared that one, and we went, there are 2 exits, and we cleared the exit so that the vehicle can come freely into the garage, alight or pick passengers and go freely. This other one found back to where we call the hospital road, the other one to South Bank, and that is the exit.
Yes.
And so we cleared through that one, and we went to the hospital road, also cleared the hospital road. Hospital road that takes you to other places also. So we cleared Brikama and finished up, and we came. Now we at Sukuta. Like I said, we clear up to Sukuta main garage.
There's a pocket
garage.
Of people there.
So from there to there also we'll be crossing to Jaban, and we'll be attacking those trucks over there. And trucks are going. Of course, government have a place for them temporarily. So we'll be clearing that road, all to promote road safety, to make our roads. These unnecessary traffic jams, these are unnecessary. We don't have that volume of vehicles in this country. We are very disorganized, and like I said, it's caused by ourselves. So it's good that we come together. We realize so to fix this problem for ourselves. It's in line with our laws. It's good that we are practicing our laws. These are not new things. These are not invented by any individual, by ourselves, because we wrote those laws, and we had to make sure we exercise them, we practice them on the ground.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Sisaho, when you started this operation, you were, effecting arrest, making arrest on people. Have you been making because some of these people are going back, and even up to now, they are going back to those places that you have already cleared. Have you made any arrests so far, and how many?
Thank you very much. This is ongoing. In the task force, people are given different responsibilities, different kind of subcommittees responsible for certain things, and within that we have what we call the monitoring and arresting team. I think even yesterday, usually I am part of the monitoring and arresting team. Yesterday, the team that I went with, we were able to arrest about 8 persons, and it's important, like you said, it's important for people to understand that this exercise is ongoing, and that we are not going to leave any stone unturned, meaning that nobody would be left. We understand that Gambians can be very stubborn sometimes, and that because of the fact that they believe the culture of Gambians starting 1 day, 2 day, and that's the end, or it's just operation, and that's when they pass here abantale. No. This, let them understand. Gambians should know that things have changed in this country, because it's for the good, and this is why this task force makes it a primary responsibility to ensure that wherever is cleared is also monitored, and anybody found in there will be arrested and will be prosecuted. And it's also important for people to know that the task force is moving, it's ongoing, but the regions and the areas, we have the regional command. Like, for example, in KMC and Banjul, we have the regional command. That is the police and other sister services within are tasked with the responsibility to ensure everywhere that is clear is maintained. However, we have the privilege or the authority to go back at any point in time. Even when we are closing from work, we find people, we just grab them and take them. So this is going to continue, and there are plans to ensure that this continues even after the operation. And please, taxi drivers, our problems are taxi drivers. Even day before yesterday, I guess you could see it on one of the social medias, where I was there with King Koli, expressing our dismay as to why. The thing is, when it is 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, these people have closed. They come back to the main junctions. Main junction, especially around this area, is the Mox Road around Jusong. We say 25 meters away from the main junction, because it's a critical junction. When vehicles are coming from Banjul and another one is coming, usually we have accidents around that. The simple reason is vehicles are on the road and the one coming wouldn't see. They wouldn't be communicating. So we moved everybody out. And people who are selling this cafe tubas, this coffee on the road and pushing, we told them, everybody, whosoever we find there, we are going to arrest. Because if you are going to sell, find a place to station. Everybody knows this is where you sell cafe tuba. If you want cafe tuba, you come. But you cannot be cafe tuba on our road. In the offices, out everywhere, everybody is just perambulating. You wouldn't know what's happening.
So disorganized.
So, exactly. So this, we are not giving them chance. And it's not only Kaftu, but even the one with sorrows and the bananas and the moving, I don't know.
Sellers.
Yes, we cannot accept this because the road is not for that. If you have to do business, find a place to be, and that's it. Another important junction is Gympex. We've been having issues at Gympex because Gympex equally is critical.
Yes.
You know, though we understand we have the hospital, the complaint is that, okay, you bring people who are sick before they walk to the main junction. We said the first junction after the Gympex junction is where the taxis are. Go there, they pick you up, but it's the taxi drivers themselves who would move and come to the main junction. Especially after 5, 6, when I'm going home, I pass by. When they see me now, they recognize my vehicle. Pooh, everybody will run away and all that. I said, there is no need for this. I will call them back. I said, come on, we are all Gambians. We don't like it like this. To push and pull in with you guys and to be taken to the stations and all that. That is the third most important one around this is Alvihai Cooperative Junction. Because Alvihai Cooperative Junction, you have taxis and you also have people who sell breakfast. The nyankatangos, the churros and the monos and everything there. We push them almost 25 meters. They shouldn't be before the taxis, but it's a problem. Yesterday, Alvihai here, you know, you have a mango tree. I was even speaking to him. I said that mango tree, I think we should remove it. We should cut it from there because they take it as a cover, you know, and sit there and be selling. It's very dangerous junction, very dangerous junction. Because what happened? You have the roundabout and you have vehicle coming from Kairaba Avenue and vehicle coming from Serapuna and all that. So taxi drivers would just come at the junction. They just stop there. Now traffic is blocked. You understand? So what we are saying is that place is not where you should take taxi. The taxi should go to the next junction. After Alvihai, the next junction you have, people should also help us because people will just come and stand there and waiting for taxis. And the drivers have no choice but to have a U-turn there. They just have a U-turn there and block the traffic, try to pick people, try to drop people and all that. So these are our challenge. So the women there, and I told this woman, I think it's been more than 5 times. There is this old woman and he would tell me, it's Mr. X, Mr. Y who asks. I said, this law does not belong to any Mr. You are selling something. Find a place appropriate for you to sell. You cannot be selling under the tree here. And this Siras, the Siras people there, the Belta Wafilal, the Kalpe Wafilal. No, honestly, it's just crazy. And I cannot just take it. Whenever I'm passing, I just have to park and come to them. I said, we ask you people to move from here. And they will tell me, bro, you're going to fall again. I said, that's not the solution. It's not about me. It's not me. If it's just me, I will be at home. I cannot have balance. It's not about me. These are the laws. These are procedures. And I think it has become time that people need to understand that. Anytime a police officer or any person in authority, you know, for any reason, you're doing something that violating the rules and regulations or laws, you say balance, mabala. It's not about the person. It's not about the person. The person is being given a responsibility, a job to do. And I think Gambians should allow us, police officers, to do that. And I'm speaking to all Gambians. Some people know themselves. But it's important that they allow the police to do their job. Many times you just arrest somebody, you just telephone call. And you receive a call from X, Y, and Z. And I think that should stop in this country.
Okay, so before we shift to local language, Mr. Mane, you did say that you are not leaving any stone unturned. And this question keeps popping up. You know, people are saying that MDI route, National Road Authority, your office is there, and you have a car park there, which is also it's believed to be on the highway. Is that going to be an exception? And also the American embassy, people have been, you know, giving questions whether that is an exception, because
Thank you. What I can tell you is we are saying anything within the road corridor will be swept up.
Including
road
that
corridor meaning fence outside. We are not going inside. Inner, that's where you own, right? In from here and there, inside, that's where you own. Anything that is outside, it belongs to the road corridor. That's for the public easement. So if you do weather decoration wise, normally, let me put it straight. There's this certificate that is obtainable at the physical planning for decorational purposes. In front of your premises or whatsoever, you can apply for it, but it's temporary and it's yearly renewal. And it's also stayed there. When the space is needed, it will be taken out by yourself at your own cost. So if you apply for that, you have a certificate that is official certificate. And now people who apply for that, if we are on this operation, physical plan write to them, because you apply officially. So you should be informed officially that this thing has to be off and you'll be given a timeline.
Sure.
People like myself and you, you have a beautiful house and you want to put flower bars outside, or you want to put some, you even see some people like this fuller people, they'll put fountain, right, in front of their houses without consulting any authority.
I know somebody who's done that and is watching, and in fact he asked me to ask the question I asked
now.
earlier.
I'm answering the question now. I'm answering the question now. When we get in there, we will demolish, because the press release equally serve as a notice for all these illegal structures. So yours will be illegal, right? So when we get to any road and that we have illegal structures, be it an encroachment, you know, let me make this thing very clear. We said road corridor, that is fence to fence. Anything that is left outside, it is an encroachment. It can also serve as an illegal, pending you do not have any certificate on it. You see other people built a shop.
We've
So
seen
they are
many
fenced.
people having certificates and they're, you know, in a place where it's illegal. We have seen, especially during the rainy season, where, you know, people are asked to, you know, move from the waterways because they believe that they constructed it there illegally. So certificate, it's not the issue here. You can have a certificate and then you're still in an, you know, you build your structure in illegal.
No, what I want to make it clear is there will be no certificate given to you to build a permanent structure on a public easement, public way.
Okay.
Nobody issued that one.
Sure. And that's what
No one issue. No one issue.
Sure.
There's no office. There's not from National Roads Authority, not from Physical Planning, not from IGP's office.
Sure.
Because on our Highway Act, there is a portion, though, there is a phrase that says, if you are to do any business on the road, you should be certificated from the IGP's office. Why? Because the IGP is responsible for the traffic management.
Sure.
So what I want to make very clear here is permanent structures done on our public roads don't have certification.
Sure.
Okay.
It's temporal.
Okay.
And the temporal, if it comes from either the council or the physical plan or whatsoever, it's temporal, it's temporal.
Okay.
But the illegal...
That includes your own structure, of course.
My structure...
National Roads Authority.
Anyway, that is my ministry. National Roads Authority is at Bijilo. That's where my office is. Where you were mentioning, that is Ministry of Works, Transport, our parent ministry. That is not National Roads Authority. What I am saying, whether it's National Roads Authority, is IGP's office. You've been seeing on your screen, we've been knocking police stations on the road.
Yeah, go on.
Yes.
These are government buildings. So immigration in Banjul, we knock government buildings. So I believe Minister of Transport is equally government structure. So if they found on the road corridor, of course, we'll clean it up.
Okay.
It will be cleaned. It will clean up.
Okay.
So wherever you were saying, the American Embassy, you mentioned American Embassy. American Embassy, like I said, in and in, that's where they own.
Okay.
Anything outside, that is public roads.
Okay.
So whatever arrangement, it has to go through that arrangement and let them do what is necessary to move it there. When the task force comes, when we get down from our vehicle, we start operating. So the system...
You know, the reason why I asked, because you started, you know, at Westfield, Sting Corner, and then you went all the way to Sukuta Jabang. And lots of people are saying that maybe that's over. You know, those places are an exception. That is why I asked, in order for you to clarify.
Thank you. My clarity will be, we prioritizing, how do you call it, primary routes. Yeah? And where congestion, traffic built up is serious. That's where we're taking up. And we will, it's part of our list. And like I said, I will read the list that we have for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
That we will be, which the famous...
in under 30 seconds, please. Time it's against
No,
us.
I will do that when we have time.
Sure.
Where the famous Kairava Avenue or the MDI route is.
Okay.
So we will be touching all on that if you have time.
All
Thank you for that.
Finally,
Thank you very much for having us. And I know this wouldn't be the last of its kind, and we would be here many times because it's important that the public understands that this work, it's a national effort that includes everybody. We are all stakeholders in this, the journalists, the public, and all that. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody, every Gambian who is supporting this. We've receiving a lot of calls to show appreciation, solidarity with the task force, with the government by extension, and Gambians, because at the end of the day, it's for the Gambia. And we want to say that as we come, please don't wait for us to ask you to remove. You know it is illegally structured or it's an encroachment. I mean, Sukuta was like, I was passing, people would sit and wait for us. The next stop is, we are coming, the next stop would sit down and like drinking atta and waiting for us. When they come, money will start telling, repeating everything, every day, repeat everything, every second. So on that note, I thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ade?
No, that's it. I'm happy, and this is something that I definitely support. Keep on doing it.
So that's all we have time for. But before I go, I have to advertise who really gave me this beautiful outfit. It's from Yachara Wall Market, and you know you can locate him at Serekunda. He's there, and my stylist for this is Ruby Omar, Yara, Bamba. They're all there, and Yachara is selling all clothes, men, women, children, and he's the one who sponsored my beautiful outfit, from my shoe to my scarf to my dress. And he's located at Serekunda. So registration for the third cohort starts in December. If you're interested to be an entrepreneur, to be independent, you can go there and register and start off your business. And you know, they are there, and it's free of charge. You don't have to pay anything to get to yourself to be registered and then to own yourself a business and to be independent. So with that, thank you very much. Till we come your way tomorrow for another edition of This Morning.